Hey, fishy people. My name's Ed. I'm the owner of Clearwater Aquarium. Probably know that since you clicked on the channel. Just wanted to go over a few of the what it's kind of like owning and running a fish store, and a lot of the misconceptions. If you're at all thinking about owning a mom and pop fish store, honestly, I tell you, probably don't do it. If you think you're going to make a bunch of money, if this is going to support your family, probably not going to happen. If you're interested in owning a fish store, you have to be really, really into the fish. You need to be really, really into customers, working with young people, working with families, and going through their struggles with them. I love what I do. I love teaching the next generation how amazing nature is, how cool it is to be in control of an environment, the right way of doing things, proper equipment, not just the cheap garbage that you often find being sold for, as an easy, this is a great hobby for everyone, because it's not necessarily a great hobby for everyone. I think everyone should try it at some point, but I don't like using this phrase, but you're playing God. You're in control of a complete ecosystem. If you're not going through it with an ecosystem approach, you're probably not going to have success. It's not going to be fun. You're going to waste money. But I know a lot of people, and this is not just going to be a video of me talking, but I know a lot of people that think that you're going to make a bunch of money, how fun it is, you get to goof around, this and that, and that's not the reality. I'm going to move the camera around so you can see some of the store while I talk. I am in San Jose. If you're unfamiliar, you've probably heard of the Silicon Valley. This is the heart of the Silicon Valley. We've got Google about a mile away, Tesla, Apple was started down here, so this is the heart of the Silicon Valley. A lot of cool people, and this used to be packed full of fish stores. We used to have, I think, about 11 non-Petco, PetSmart fish stores in the area. Now there are 3 of us. I'm one of them. There's a freshwater only, and then there's a mostly saltwater only store. I'm one of the few that kind of does a mix, a 50-50 mix of both of those. Let's go over some of the downsides while we look at these big guys. These bubbles are giant gourami. This tank's full of mostly fish that people bring in because they've outgrown their tanks. And we're probably going to have these for a lot longer. It's pretty rare that people buy giant fish. But anyway, some of the downsides of owning a fish store. Overhead. Outrageously expensive. My rent in this small place is over $5,000 a month. Then you add your water bill. And then you add your $2,000 electric bill, and then you add your dumpster bill, and then you add what you pay your employees, if you have employees, if you can afford them. To break even, I've got to do about $1,000 a day, which definitely doesn't happen on a lot of the days. And then workload. I am here 7 days a week. I take a half day off on Sunday, and I do that because of a couple reasons. You have to be outrageously diligent to your work. You can't just not show up for a few days because everything will die. I enjoy being here, which again is why I own a fish store. Like I said at the beginning, if you don't really enjoy this, don't even consider owning a fish store. It's not going to be worth it. You're not going to suddenly get rich. If you do everything right, you're probably not going to get rich. I'm going to put this lens on so you can see the corals better. The fish stores that are making money are mostly doing service on the side, which definitely we do, and it keeps us more afloat. And then they're selling stuff online, which is a whole nother headache on its own. Our competitors, it used to be your competitors were your other fish stores, which were typically your friends. You'd send people back and forth between different stores, depending on who's got what and what people are looking for. Nowadays, your competitors are online vendors, and there's absolutely no way that we can compete, as much as we try, with places like Amazon. So a lot of the times, you'll have a family come in that knows absolutely nothing. They come in, will be very helpful. Give them several hours worth of information. They'll take a look at all of the products that you recommend and then go buy them for $5 cheaper on Amazon. Why can't we match Amazon pricing? Because we have overhead. These guys are shipping entire crates and pallets to Amazon, which takes care of the shipping, the physical overhead of the building it's stored in, and everything else. So they don't have any labor. They can afford to make a 10% profit, and it's profit. We can't make a 10% profit because it wouldn't be profit due to overhead. Aside from the money aspects, there is a lot of, I don't know if they call it politics or just drama. There's a lot of drama involved. We have a 7-day guarantee on our fish. Petco has a 30-day guarantee. Petco gets their fish in larger amounts, so they get a better deal, and then they also can offset that through the sales of cheap equipment, dog food, cat food, a whole bunch of other stuff that we can't offset for. I can't sell massive amounts of dog food because where would I put it? My store is packed, and I don't have more room, and nor can I afford more room. There's Alan. So it's, you can't do the same thing. I can't stress this as much. I know a lot of people and they go, oh, I can start farming coral, I can start farming fish. It seems like easy, fun money. By all means, start farming coral, start farming fish. But if you think this is an easy way of making money, I would say you're kind of delusional. Come hang out at a mom and pop store, see the work they put in, see everything else that goes into it. If they're nice, they'll show you their finances, and you'll take one look at that and go, nope, that's probably not for me. It's a blast. I love what I do. This is not a complaint video, but I get asked this question all the time. How do I make lots of money doing this? And the reality is you're not. Enjoy the hobby. If you're really good at something, really good at breeding fish or shrimp, sell them to your local fish store. I'll buy locally raised fish and shrimp all day long, and we do. It's a lot of fun. I'd much rather buy it from a local hobbyist than buy it from a wholesaler. Now, don't expect to go into a mom and pop store. Expect to sell your fish at the same price that Petco's selling them at. We have to make a profit, which means we have to buy it for cheaper and we have to put a markup on it. Oh, there are a few other things I was going to cover. Amount of work. Late nights, that's a big thing. Power went out the other day. We have 2 generators in the back, and we were here till 4 in the morning, fueling up the generators, sleeping on the floor, because if you have no power, your fish die. Going out of town is very, very difficult unless you have a staff you very, very much trust. Then again, you got to pay them. Obviously, you should be paying them, but you got to pay them, and that's not super cheap, especially if you want good staff that's not going to be leaving every now and then. Not to rag on Petco and PetSmart, but the reason they can afford cheap staff is because most of their staff are high schoolers, transitioning to college. They're going to be there for all of a few months, get paid minimum wage. By the time they learn a little bit, they're out the door and they're hiring their next round. I pride myself in that everyone that works here knows what they're doing, gives good advice and honest advice. But yeah, you can't just... I was a barista, not to rag on baristas, but it's not like filling up a cup of coffee and handing it to someone and taking some money. There's a large knowledge base you need to have to give good advice. And if you're not giving good advice, don't give advice at all, because again, we're dealing with livestock. It's a complete ecosystem. Don't like the phrase, but you're playing God. Selling a gerbil, you don't have to worry about air parameters. You don't have to worry about temperature nearly as much. You don't have to worry about the nitrogen cycle. Fish, you're in control of their gas exchange. You're in control of the waste. Obviously, you're in control of the food, the temperature, the CO2, the oxygen, phosphates, nitrates, ammonia, nitrites. If you're talking about coral, amounts of magnesium, potassium, phosphorus, there's so many things that go into it. Man, I should have written out a script for this because there was definitely more I wanted to cover. But the baseline is, unless you're gonna get a sponsorship, like I have a YouTube video or a YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel has some subscribers. Don't think I make a whole lot of money off of it. But yeah, I'd say the ones that are doing really well are probably making more money off of their YouTube channels that have the big YouTube channels than they are actually out of their store. And then they're getting sponsorships to sell particular items, and they're doing that well online. Selling online, I've done it before, huge pain in the butt, unless you have a second facility specifically for that and a staff that's really good at getting stuff out. I'd say not really worth it, unless you're doing specific pieces of coral, where you have a high enough markup that if UPS and FedEx loses your packages, you can cover it. That happens more frequently than you think. Or you're shipping something like shrimp, which if they get lost in the mail a few days, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. We're going to start adding more videos. Hopefully we're going to get a better camera. Would love to do some time lapses of the cool, goofy stuff that goes on, and the weird, crazy stuff we have. Like, for instance, the sea apple over here. I would love to do a time lapse of the sea apple eating. Let me throw the filter back on. This is a sea apple. It's actually a type of worm, and you can see those little frills going in and out of its mouth. It's a filter feeder, so whenever food goes by, grabs a piece of food, sticks it in his mouth, which doubles up as his butt also, and they keep going at that. Real quick, why we use filters when we're looking at these tanks is because the actinic blue, which makes the corals pop, also does not like cameras. So this is without the filter, that's not what it looks like in real life. This is what it looks like in real life, but you can't see that due to the massive amount of what we call actinic lighting, which is close to UV range. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might tidy it up, add some stuff. Probably not, because I'm really bad at editing. But hopefully we'll have some cool, awesome videos for you guys to watch in the near future. Appreciate everyone that subscribed. Have a great day. Hope your tank's doing well. Bye, guys.